Ah, shoot, are we live? Okay. Hey, boo, this is Nika, pleasantly unbothered. Oh my gosh, this is my first time going live. So bear with me, especially if I have to fiddle with my phone or anything, or if I have to cough, because I do have a cough right now. Just bear with me. We'll just go with it. I don't know about you, but all day I have been hearing about the Red Table Talk conversation with Ayesha Curry that has people calling her all kinds of names. Some people are calling her rude. Some people are calling her distasteful, a disgrace to her husband and her family. People are saying she's uncouth, like she should watch what she say. Like people are saying a lot of things, okay? So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I think we need to talk about this. So if you are here, either live or upon the replay, say something down there, wherever. Let me know you're here. Let me see if I can turn on the chat. Hopefully that just worked, whatever I just did there. Basically, if you're not familiar, Jada Pinkett Smith has a talk show that's online called Red Table Talks. Hey, oh my gosh, I'm live. Anyway, she has a Red Table Talk show, and basically she brings celebrities together to her table to talk about personal issues, to give us a little insight, a little piece of their personal life, so we can see what it's like, understand what they're going through. They address some gossip, stuff like that. So I guess recently, Ayesha Curry, wife of basketball player Steph Curry, and she's also like a TV personality. She has a career of her own as well. Oh my gosh. Hey Roxy. Oh my god. so so Ayesha Curry was on there with a lot of the other Curry ladies. I guess all of them that were on the show are married to basketball player men. And so they were talking about the struggles of being a basketball wife, essentially, having to be apart from them for a certain amount of time, having ladies throw themselves at their husbands and their men and all that kind of stuff. And Ayesha Curry made a comment that Steph Curry, one of the highest rated basketball players in the league, or whatever, I'm not a sports person, that he gets women throwing themselves at him constantly. And he's such a nice guy. He's so friendly that he doesn't necessarily take it any kind of way. He likes to chat it up with ladies and get attention and all this stuff. However, for her, in the last 10 years, she hasn't really had any advances, she said. It's basically like nobody's checking for her. And it makes her feel some type of way because although she's a taken woman, she still wants to be desired. So it made her feel insecure that her husband's getting all this attention, which rightly so. He's not bad looking, he's famous, got money, the things that appeal to a lot of women, not all women. We're not even going to get deeper into that, but the things that appeal to a lot of women, the fame, the fortune, the status, the nice guy thing, and all that. So he gets so many advances, but she's not really getting any. And so it makes her wonder, like, what's wrong with me? Is there something about me? And so the other ladies around the table were really supportive. They told her, like, don't internalize it. Don't even worry about it. There's nothing wrong with you. Your husband, if anybody knows that somebody's looking at you, your husband knows. So as long as he knows, that's what's important. And overall, the comments that I've seen about the conversation were pretty positive. A lot of people were glad that they discussed some of these issues, that they got all vulnerable, that they opened up, that they, addressed some of these things that a lot of people might be ashamed of. But then there was also like another set of people, another set that were just like going in on her. They were talking about, even if you feel that way, you keep that to yourself. You're a married woman. You don't need somebody else's validation. Clearly she's insecure because she's worried about who's looking for her, whatever the case is. Like, people had a lot to say, and rightly so. I know everybody says that when you put your business out there, it's free for the public to talk about it. So if that's what you feel, whatever, I guess. My main issue is that people were acting like so high and mighty about it, as if like she was totally wrong and totally out of her place to either feel that way or to say that she felt that way. And I'm like, first of all, this show is supposed to be all about vulnerability, all about opening up, all about addressing things and talking about the stuff that other people don't talk about. And she said something that was really personal that a lot of people wouldn't talk about in public. And I know a lot of people feel that way, you know? So while so many people can probably, right, girl, so many people said that to her, okay? So while, geez, I just lost my train of thought there. Whew, read a comment and I got all off track. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So while a lot of people can relate to her and feel that like deep down, like, wow, I'm glad that she said that because I've felt that and I never really knew that it was okay to verbalize that. And so they felt empowered by hearing that from her, from someone who's successful, who's beautiful, who has a family that people envy, who has a husband and a life that people envy. And so hearing it from her, I think, made a lot of people feel validated in those feelings. But then some other people were just big mad. I don't know what their problem was. And I mean, of course, you can disagree. You know, you don't even have to agree with me. You don't have to be here to be like, yeah, girl, you know, oh my gosh, you're so right. If you disagree, like I said, let me know your thoughts. Either way, I'm curious to know what you think. Because as someone who's been in like long-term relationships, I can say that I can relate. I can relate to the feeling of being happy at home, but still feeling invisible in public and being like, okay, well, you know, I thought I looked good too. So it would have been nice if somebody smiled or said something, you know. It's not that I want another man or that I'm looking, but it's like I exist still. You know, I still exist. So what is it about being taken that means that no one's ever supposed to desire you outside of your relationship? Because her husband Steph is getting plenty of that, and everybody's like, oh, but it comes with the territory. Oh, he's just a nice guy. Oh, he's faithful. He's not gonna do. But when she wants a little bit of that, because I feel like it's almost natural in a way to feel some type of way if it feels like you're in a one-sided relationship, you know, or if one party's getting all the attention and all the affection or whatever it is, and you just invisible, like, oh, you're just the wife of the star player. So now he's the star player in your life. You know, he's the one everybody's always looking for. He's the one that's the most important in a sense as far as celebrity goes. So I really empathize with her, and a lot of people didn't. They just really didn't. But I'm curious to know your thoughts. So I see that a few of you are in here. Let me know. Talk to me. Let me see if the comments are on here. Okay, it looks like the comments are on. Hey to all of you who are here and those of you who have commented. Thank you, Wendy girl. Ooh, I appreciate it. Right. You're so right. People are so tough to empathize with, or so resistant, I think, to empathize with women in a lot of cases, because it's like for the men basketball players who are traveling the world, city to city, woman to woman, in some cases, the ones who aren't necessarily faithful. And we've known of a lot of them, if we're being honest, you know. So they live this life where they're gone most of the time. They leave their woman at home. She's there with the family, with the kids, with the responsibilities. He's off jet setting and living his wildest dreams, and she's just supposed to be invisible wife at home that's off limits, that nobody's, well, obviously she should be off limits if they're supposed to be faithful, right? But like, she's supposed to be just invisible. They might as well put her in some kind of cloak, because if no one can ever look at her or ever desire her again, or think that she's attractive, or show her that she's still desirable to men, or whatever it is, I mean, then I know not everyone needs it, but if she's saying that it's something that she'd appreciate, I don't know why people got to jump on her. That's all I'm saying. I think because they're also well known, most men. Exactly, that's true. That's true too, Kay. Like you said, if they know she's taken, it's like, and I saw someone else comment something on one of those like articles, like people have been talking about it. That's how I heard about this. I don't follow celebrity news, but it's been everywhere. So I was like, let me see what this is about. And I do like the Red Table Talk, so that's how I found out about it. But people definitely we're talking about, a lot of men were like, well, if a woman's married, she's off limits to me. She looks like the walking dead to me. Like, she might as well have poop on her face because I'm not going to approach her. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. That's valid if you want to respect her marriage and all of that. But even for the people that may not necessarily know that, immediately that she's not available, it sounds like she just wants to be validated by somebody. And again, not to say that she or that everybody needs that, but if she does, then like don't beat up on her, like empathize. Because then also with him being the power player in all other regards of life, she already feels like she's on the back burner. So it's not helping that she feels like she's the ugly one out of the two of them, and she's beautiful. Let me see. I need to go watch it. We're such an outrage culture, so I'm not surprised these people are upset over nothing. You so right, Sharonda. You so right. And I'll try to put a link in the comments or the description after this is done. Like I said, this is my first time. I don't know how this stuff works, so bear with me. The way I see it, it seems like we're not allowed to feel. Girl, don't get me started. We have to encapsulate this image of just being fine and dandy with whatever's thrown at us. Like, no, why put on a man? Girl, I should say you are so right. You are so right. Thank you, Sharonda. It's like that meme, like, you're doing great, sweetie. Like, no matter what, you're doing great. But you're so right, because I've found myself saying that in relationships before. Like, why do I always have to be the one that never loses her patience, that never gets upset, that never gets frustrated, that's always down with repeating herself, that's always okay with no communication and no consent? Like, why I gotta be the one that's always good all the time? Like, who put me in that place? Why do I have to be the one to take on that burden? Everybody else gets to be human. I know that I'm big and I look sturdy, but that don't mean you got to beat up on me. Like, come on now, I'm soft and tender too. Where my TLC at? So, and it's so true. It's so true. People expect us to not have feelings or not show them or just deal with them and move on or whatever it is, and that's not cool. Right. Roxy says, what's the difference between her feeling that way and a male celebrity going into the bar or club to see if he still got it? And I saw someone mention that Martin Lawrence, in an episode of Martin, I guess, took off his wedding ring at one point and went out to see if he still had it, right? To see which woman would approach him or would be attracted or whatever the case is. And she said all the men knew what he was up to then and they were fine with it. But now that she just wants to know whether or not she still got the goods, because she got with him from so young. I think they said they got together when they were teenagers, like 15 or 18 or something like that. So she's been with this man for a long time. And a lot can change, a lot can develop. You can go through a lot. She's had 3 children, I think. Her body's changed. She's probably not the same as she was before. Meanwhile, this guy's got women that are younger and hotter throwing themselves at him every day, So again, not to say like, of course she's insecure, but no, I can understand how she might be if that were the case, I think she has tried to cultivate her own identity with her YouTube channel and cookbooks, but she may have lost herself in the marriage just a little. And Kay, you're so right, and it makes me feel sad about that. And I do like her brand that she's built. I don't know much about her, but I like the way she presents herself. I bought one of her ebooks, the cookbook things, because it looked good. Matter of fact, I just realized I never used it. I should probably go dig that up somewhere. And their whole image as a family, they're adorable, they're God-fearing. Like, there's a lot that's good stuff there. So I do like that. And she even mentioned it in the conversation on that show that she is pretty much the second party now. He's always Steph Curry and everybody knows who he is, and then she has to go introduce herself because she's not quite on the same celebrity level as he is. And so it's like, it kind of comes with the territory of being with someone that's that super uber famous, but it still is not fun to go through, and I don't think any of us regular folk could know. Especially the folks commenting, being all big mad about it. I'm like, what do you know about that? And if you so high and mighty, I guess you never had an insecurity about anything ever in your life. Like, people acting like they don't low-key feeling validated by others. It's so true. Not saying you should feel that way to feel like you have worth, but we're human. We want that sometimes. It's so true, Domestic V. Is that how you Is that Roman numerals, girl? I always wonder. But that's so true. It is nice. And I used to go out sometimes with like my engagement ring on. And I always wondered, like, does that repel men? Like, would they be even more attracted? I know some guys don't care. Matter of fact, the last few guys that have tried to hit on me have all had girlfriends or wives, and they've admitted it. One had his ring on still and was like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" Looking me up and down and all kind of stuff like I was a snack. I'm like, "Sir, I don't think your wife would approve of that." Or the ones that are like, "Yeah, I got a girl, but still, I could do what I want." So I don't think a lot of people are really respecting marriage and stuff that much, whether it's my marriage, their marriage, whatever the case is. But at the same time, it's like it is nice to know that you're desirable to somebody. That is nice, especially if she's going through a low point or if she's struggling with something. Wendy says everyone wants to feel attractive and wanted, married or not. My boyfriend thinks it's up to his manhood, so to say, for another guy to find me attractive. Yeah. He's like, yeah, you could look, but that's mine. She good, ain't she? She good looking, ain't she? And I saw a few comments like that too. Like, it should make your partner feel good that you are able to still feel attractive and desirable. You can of course love yourself, but the whole attractive thing is about whether or not other people are attractive to you, or attracted to you. So I could still see that, whether or not you got all the self-love. And it does waver sometimes we don't always feel like $1,000,000, especially after years and babies and life changes and things. You never know. Let's see. Comments. Scandal. Oh, domestic fee. Got it. Thank you. I've always wondered. But yeah, y'all, I just felt sad for her in that way. And like I said, thankfully the majority of the comments that I saw were pretty positive. So I thought that was nice. Like, not everybody's bashing her or completely insensitive and on their high horse about things. But at the same time, the ones that were going in were going in, especially the men. These men, I've been looking at them differently lately, y'all. I love me some men. I love our brothers. I love our sisters. I love everybody. Everybody gets love from me, right? But man, lately I've been so disappointed by some of the things I've been seeing and hearing and people been doing. And I have 1,000 videos lined up. Like, I have so many outlines of videos in my phone lined up that are ready to go. Well, some of them are ready to go, but I have to film them and edit them, which is hard. Matter of fact, I'm in my workplace right now. Everybody went home, so I'm just sneaking this in. And so I have so many videos about relationships and dating stuff and encounters and story times and things and things. And some of these men lately especially have been real disappointing. I guess it's just the culture these days, the way things have evolved, that everybody's hooking up and people aren't, well, I should say hooking up, and Netflixing and chilling. And I think I'm like talked about that in a video before or something. But it's like everybody just wants something else. The main person and the one person that you chose is not enough. Suddenly I want something else on the side. And I'm perfectly fine with telling you up front. Now that part I can respect. Like, they're not lying about it as much, I think. But it's still real disappointing. Real disappointing to me. But anyhow, I think that's all I had to say about the sex is easy to find. Love is a bit more challenging. Man, you so right. You are so right. I can see how this can lead to cracks being created in a relationship. I can't wait for the new video. Ooh, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. And it's interesting that this all came up because one of the videos that I've been thinking a lot about is like dating and how to present yourself and what to do and how it all happens and when they don't text back or when they don't call when they're saying they're going to call or what, and all these things I think can have ways of like eating at you a little bit, right? Those are the things that cause those insecurities to creep in, and there's so much of that lately, just so much. of people being inconsistent and making you doubt yourself and making you wonder. And even the rich and famous, gorgeous people are dealing with the same insecurities to some degree. You know, there's always something going on and you just never know. All right, let me see. All right, y'all. So we're at 20 minutes. Wow, that went fast. Did I really talk for that whole time? So unless anybody else, unless anybody else had any other comments, I think I'll leave it at that. I just needed to get that off my chest. Again, you don't have to agree with me. Let me know what you think, whether on the live stream right now or on the replay. I think all of the comments are gonna disappear from right now. Oh, hey, beautiful. Hey, girl. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be over yet. I think the cleaning crew is coming soon, but it doesn't have to be over yet. I just, don't want you just staring at me for no reason. If no one else was coming on or had anything to say. We were just talking about the Ayesha Curry comment that she recently made and her being human and a regular person, even with all the riches and the fame and the fortune. And a lot of people were bashing her for that. And if you missed it, I believe this is going to publish as a regular video when we're done here. It might be easier to watch on your phone since it's like the vertical video. But yeah. Anyway, guys, ladies, boos, women's. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you like the live stream thing where we get to interact directly. I kind of loved it, although I'm kind of nervous because I really like you. You know what I mean? So y'all got me a little bit like, I got to do good. But let me know what you think down there, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Oh, and if you wouldn't mind coming back to leave a comment once it publishes, because I think it's going to erase all of these. YouTube being YouTube.